5 types of false arguments. Have you ever been in a conversation or read something that made you stop and think, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right here? That's because some arguments aren't based on solid logic. They're false arguments, tricks designed to mislead or persuade without using proper reasoning. Today, we're going to dive into 5 common types of false arguments and show you how to spot them. Ready? Let's get started. Number 1. Name calling or ad hominem. This is when someone attacks the person making the argument instead of the argument itself. It's an emotional tactic that tries to discredit the person rather than address their ideas. Example. Imagine someone says, I think we should reduce car emissions to protect the environment. A response might be, oh, of course, you'd say that you're just one of those tree-hugging environmentalists. Here, the response attacks the person's character, labeling them as a tree-hugging environmentalist instead of addressing the actual point about reducing emissions. This is a classic ad hominem fallacy. It's important to remember that attacking the person doesn't refute their argument. Stick to the ideas, not the labels. Number 2. False cause and effect. This fallacy happens when someone incorrectly assumes that because two things happen together, one must have caused the other. This kind of thinking can be misleading, especially in complex situations. Example. Every time I wear my lucky socks, my team wins the game. It must be the socks. Now, this might sound funny, but it's a false cause and effect fallacy. Just because two things happen together, wearing socks and winning, doesn't mean the socks are the reason for the victory. It's likely a coincidence, but this type of reasoning makes an unfounded link. Remember, correlation doesn't always equal causation. Just because two things occur together doesn't mean one caused the other. Number 3. Falsely representing an opinion or straw man argument. This is when someone misrepresents an argument in order to make it easier to attack. Instead of engaging with the actual opinion, they create a distorted version of it, then knock that down. Example. People who support renewable energy want to shut down all factories and completely stop using any fossil fuels. They're extreme. This is a straw man. It misrepresents the argument for renewable energy by exaggerating it. Most people who support renewable energy want a gradual shift, not an immediate shutdown of industries. The real debate is about how to transition to cleaner sources of energy, not about going to extremes. When someone sets up a distorted version of an idea, it's easier to attack. Be sure to focus on the actual argument, not a caricature of it. Number 4. Appeals to emotion. Now, let's talk about appeals to emotion. This type of argument plays on your feelings, especially fear, guilt, or pity, rather than presenting logical reasons. It's one of the easiest false arguments to spot because it's all about pulling on your heartstrings. Example. Imagine a political ad that says, if you don't vote for us, the economy will collapse and your children will suffer. The message is clear, fear. But fear alone doesn't make a good argument. There's no actual evidence linking your vote to the future of the economy in such a dramatic way. This kind of argument appeals to your emotions to persuade you rather than offering sound reasoning or facts. Number 5. False argument from popularity. This is when someone argues that something must be true simply because a lot of people believe it. The idea here is that popularity equals truth. Example. Everyone is talking about this new health trend, so it must be the best way to live a healthy life. Just because a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon doesn't mean it's scientifically proven or even good advice. Popularity can certainly spread ideas, but it doesn't guarantee they are true or effective. Throughout history, many popular beliefs, like the belief that bloodletting was a cure for illness, have turned out to be wrong. Always remember, popularity isn't proof of truth. Just because many people believe something doesn't automatically make it right. To wrap up, here are the 5 false arguments we've covered today. Name calling or ad hominem. False cause and effect. Falsely representing an opinion or straw man argument. Appeals to emotion. False argument from popularity. The next time you're in a debate, listen closely. Are people making logical, well supported arguments, or are they using one of these tricks to persuade you? Keep questioning, keep thinking critically, and always look for the facts behind the arguments. Thanks for watching, and be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. Until we meet in the next one, stay proficient.